Masters of Horror, Sick Girl, an insect story that you could have never imagined. In this video, there is beauty, there is horror, and a lot more of scary insects crawling around. Hello everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video of Marvelous Videos. What we have for you today is quite exciting and equally difficult to watch, but definitely a lot of fun for our all-time horror-loving fans. There is a special anthology series created by director Mick Garris for the horror fan base that includes a whole bunch of great horror works done by many of your favorite directors. Masters of Horror has everything in it. 1 hour-long movies from directors like Tobe Hooper to John Carpenter. For today's episode, we have a very interesting episode for you. Straight from Masters of Horror, Sick Girl is the 10th episode of the first season of Masters of Horror. It was directed by Lucky McKee and it is based on a story written by McKee and Sean Hood. Let us tell you that this is not about drugs, even though that is what you are definitely going to be thinking. The way the story leads, the girl sure is very sick, but who is responsible for all that is about to happen? There is science, but there is also a lot of original imagination involved, which is going to leave you shocked until the very end. Well, let us get right into the video to find out who this sick girl is and how she got so sick to the point that death has overshadowed her. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
And
A love story that went bizarrely wrong. Sick Girl. Here we have Angela Bettis playing the role of Ida Teeter, who is a rather introverted and shy scientist who studies insects as her profession. She also has a whole variety of insects and bugs at her house, which she keeps as pets. Remember when we said that there was going to be a lot of crawling things in this film? Well, here it is. She is clearly very used to all kinds of bugs crawling not just around her, but on her as well. The film begins with this exact thing being the very reason for which Ida's girlfriend breaks up with her. I mean, sure, love what your partner does, but bugs normally freak everybody out. Then she meets a very attractive looking girl who has a hint of mystery about her. Of course, there is a spark of attraction between them. Now, before going on the date with Misty Falls, who is played by Aaron Brown, Ida has a mystery bug package waiting for her outside her main door. And as is her nature, she got super excited to meet this new bug and make it her pet. But there was something different this time. She did not seem to recognize this bug at all. It seemed like an insect that she had never seen before. She does give it a name and calls it Mick. Well, she had to first worry about her first date with Misty, so she hid all of her pets in the bedroom, including the new mysterious addition. Her landlady, Lana Beasley, never liked the way Ida maintains her house with bugs as pets. And now with this new mantis-like insect, she has one more reason to dislike Ida. Now, after the date, Ida brings Misty back to her apartment to watch a movie on her DVD player. No one knows at this point that Mick has in fact managed to come out of his box and it has crawled into Ida's bed. After a phone call from Max, her colleague, Ida returns to the living room where Misty has fallen asleep. She brings the pillow for Misty, but looks like Mick is crawling inside it. The moment becomes quite romantic for Misty and Ida, and just when they are getting closer and closer, Mick stings Misty in the ear, but she is unaware of it. Now, the next day, Misty ends up finding all of Ida's bugs and she is surprised to see that Misty is in fact very much interested in them. But it seems as if Misty is becoming weak, and she also looks like a sick person. Yes, Misty is our sick girl. The most weird things are yet to happen, so Misty now finds the pillow with Mick inside it and suddenly has the urge and craving to lie next to it. We get to have a look at her ear, which Mick has bitten, and there is some gooey liquid pouring out of it. The ear appears swollen beyond your imagination. Could this be the reason why Misty has been acting so weird lately? Well, Ida, on the other hand, gets a very apologetic letter, which is apparently from the same person who sent her Mick in the parcel. We do not know who it is, but the letter says that this bug is definitely a very dangerous one. But it looks like both Max and Ida are still very unsure about it. Now, it is clear from the start that the landlady, Miss Beasley, never really liked Misty. They even had an argument in front of Ida, which leaves her in shock because Misty has suddenly started acting out, yelling and fighting without reason. Now, when Ida is needed at the lab by Max for something urgent, she notices before leaving that Misty has placed a pillow between her legs, and she does not know this, but yes, it is the same pillow in which Mick has been living. After meeting with Max, a lot of new information comes to light about this strange insect, and Ida soon realizes that maybe Misty has already been bitten by it. Back at home, you would never have imagined what Misty did next. So because she is so pissed off with Miss Beasley, she decides that it is best if she dies. There are changes in Misty's body because of the insect, and then she kills Miss Beasley. When Ida returns and sees the dead body of her landlady, she is almost absolutely sure that Misty has definitely had very close contact with the insect. A piece of very surprising news hit Ida when Misty tells her the truth about who has sent this mantis-like insect in the mail. Apparently, as it turns out, Ida's former tutor, whom she worshipped a lot, Professor Malcolm Wolf, is actually Misty's father. He was the one who sent this dangerous insect to Ida's house in the hope that it would bite Ida and distance her away from his daughter Misty. He desperately wanted to do this because he knows that Misty has been in love with Ida for a very long time now, and he clearly disapproves. Now, after watching Misty transform into a sort of bug-human monster, Ida screams in terror. Of course, who wouldn't be shocked to see their girlfriend like this? When Max comes to the rescue of Ida, he ends up getting brutally killed by Misty, and before Ida can do anything, Mick the insect finally bites her in the ear the same way it had done to Misty. The film ends with a glimpse of the future after several weeks where both Misty and Ida are lying down. Apparently, they look happy and pregnant with full-grown bellies, and we can see Mick still injecting them. Well, that sure was something weird. We know you probably have a lot of questions about the insect and the ending of this film. Well, do not worry. All of your questions are about to be answered in this video ahead. It is strange how Ida and Misty ended up pregnant, right? Let us get back to the insect and find out what exactly is the deal with this creature. Mick, the mantid-esque bug. We can easily say that Mick is the main antagonist in Sick Girl, but what exactly is this insect whom Ida thought was going to be her pet? But it looks like the tables turned on her plans and made her its pet instead. Mick is a mantid-like insect and from an unknown species, which explains why Ida and Max were unable to recognize it. It is like a parasite creature, and there has never been an insect like this one before. It basically reproduces by its strange stick-like antennas, which it uses to fertilize the host. That is what we saw happening to Misty in the initial part of the film. It may change the victim's DNA as it consumes the blood of its host, and that is how it makes them suited for carrying and delivering its offspring. So, that is how this insect impregnated Misty with its antenna-like beak, because the primary goal it has is to reproduce. It also probably has some other powers like eating animals. There was a dog in Ida's building who was fidgeting around Mick when it was stuck inside a tank. Now, after it had escaped from its tank, that dog disappeared, and it was Mick who was behind this. It probably ate the dog to keep itself nourished. Through the film, we also find out that apparently it has the power to turn the body of its host into a kind of hybrid bug-human monster by transforming the host at will. Misty was able to kill Miss Beasley through her tentacles that she had developed after Mick had impregnated her. Well, this sure is a scary creature. Clearly, that letter Ida got was not understating how dangerous Mick can get. But as it would seem, we technically did not have a happy ending since this insect never died. Although from the looks of it, it was clearly a happy moment for both Ida and Misty, because this insect also has the power to manipulate the host and brainwash them. That explains why they seemed so happy about the idea of giving birth to its offspring. And like a leech, Mick was still stuck to Ida and Misty. We can guess that probably this will lead to the death of both of them eventually. Well, at least they are in this together and not alone. After you watch this episode of Masters of Horror, Edward Lucky McKee has to be your favorite. He has done such a wonderful job at creating something so unique in his own frame of work with his vivid imagination and the character build-up. He might not seem like the most awful, appalling of all the other directors involved in the horror anthology series, but McKee definitely knows how to leave his own indelible touch with the audience in the way, which will terrify them. A little bit of an odd film, but Sick Girl sure excelled with such an iconic star cast and their amazing performance. You can find a bit of humor in the film as well, but it is definitely a lot creepier than you would have first imagined. Well guys, with that, we have to come to the end of another horror classic video with Marvelous Videos. We hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed making it for you. Make sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button on your way out. Also, tell us in the comments down below which part in the movie managed to creep you out the most. For us, it was obviously the part where we got a glimpse at Misty's swollen and infected ear. Until then, everyone stay safe, take care, and see you in the next video. Have a great day ahead. Thanks everyone.